Good afternoon. It's Monday, January 12, 2026. INEC continuous voters registration is on. Here's the opportunity to register to vote on the news this afternoon. Ignatius Azure University students block admin block in protest. Governor Fubara explains reasons for his silence amidst impeachment saga. FCT minister insists President Tinubu can fire him. Rivers government acknowledges sacrifices of fallen heroes. Resident doctors suspend planned strike. I'm Ifechukwu Muonyili with the news. Now, let's start the news this hour by telling you that scores of graduating students of Ignatius Azure University of Education, Muonyili, who are awaiting convocation, have blocked the university's administrative block in protest. The students, drawn from various departments, demand the release of missing results, which they say were earlier uploaded on the school's portal but later disappeared. Speaking with our correspondent Nnamdi, the protesters accused the university's ICT officials of negligence, insisting the missing results were valid and duly passed. They also expressed concern over plans by the university management to make them re-register and rewrite the affected courses.
So we are agitating that they should tell us how the result got missing and that we are not re-registering any exam again. We are supposed to do our convocation since last year, but up till now, we've not done anything. We are not seeing any response from the school management. They should give us in clear terms what happened to our results and when are we graduating, when are we convocating. They are not paying any dime again concerning the result that we are not seeing in the name of we rewriting exams in this school because we are done with school.
Even the ones that were rectified were later removed from the portal. So I'm still wondering why. Why should you tell us to pay money for teaching practice that we did? They're telling us to pay extra money for our results to be uploaded. Please, they should try and just give us our results so that we can leave the school for them.
They move our results from RMS to a new portal entirely, which is SRP. Ever since then, we have been having result issue. The new portal they created, I think that is where the error is coming from.
The students displayed placards reading, "Release our teaching practice and community service results. Upload all missing GNS results, and administrative failure is not our fault. Fix your system," amongst others. River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says his silence amid the ongoing political crisis is guided by his faith in God. Governor Fubara made this known during an interdenominational church service held on Sunday to mark the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day at St. Cyprian's Anglican Church, Port Harcourt. He calls for calm, assuring that his administration will continue to work to sustain peace in the state.
When we were marking the New Year dinner, I said something that dogs bark when they don't understand. And that's the reason why I don't shout, I don't complain. I know what I have. I know that I have what is supreme, and that is God. So I want everyone to be relaxed. What is important is peace for this dear state, and we'll get it by the special name of God.
In her remarks, the Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odo, acknowledged the sacrifices of fallen heroes and heroines as well as veterans present at the service, describing their sacrifices as invaluable to the nation.
I want to thank all of you, and I want to thank God that we are alive today to remember and celebrate the heroes, fallen heroes and heroines, and the legionnaires that are here. Our Father, Most Reverend Blessing Eyinda encapsulated everything by saying that we are each and every one of us remembered by what we have done.
Well, in his sermon, the Archbishop of the Niger Delta Province and Bishop of the Ikwere Diocese, the Most Reverend Blessing Eyinda, commended Governor Fubara for his consistent support for the armed forces. He urged leaders and citizens to live lives that build a legacy of peace, love, and service to God and humanity. Still talking Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the wife of the River State Governor, Valerie Fubara, says the state government remains committed to inclusive governance, social responsibility, and the welfare of citizens, especially members of the armed forces and their families. Mrs. Fubara said this on Saturday while hosting the maiden humanitarian outreach Family and Community Day at the Government House in Port Harcourt. She noted that the dedication and sacrifices of members of the armed forces continue to preserve Nigeria's peace, unity, and territorial integrity. The event, held as part of activities marking the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day in the state, drew attendance from the Deputy Governor, Professor Ngozi Odu, the Commissioner for Women Affairs, Dr. Roslyn Apawari Oranta, the head of the River State Civil Service, Dr. Iyengi Brown, the Professor Roslyn Konya, among others. Correspondent Onyeka reports that the event features games, cultural displays, and the presentation of gifts to armed forces veterans and widows of fallen heroes. In Ikwere local government area, the chairman, Charles Wobodo, says there is a need to honor the courage, sacrifice, and selfless service of fallen heroes who defended Nigeria's unity, peace, and sovereignty. Wobodo made the call during a special Thanksgiving service to mark this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day at St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Alemini, Ishobu. He also urged continued prayers for the families of fallen heroes, especially widows and children who carry the burden of their sacrifice. The Ikwere Council chairman further pledged to provide solar-powered light for the church, assuring that all commitments made by his administration will be fulfilled in due time. In his remarks, the chairman of the Nigeria Legion in Ikwere local government area, Joshua Obi Nawono, appealed to well-meaning individuals to support legionnaires, noting that many receive little assistance from society. He also advised serving security personnel to remain patient and uphold the ethics of their profession.
Our brothers and sisters in the LGA, each time we come out, they should try to support us because we are not getting enough support from the populace. A lot of persons does not understand the real meaning of Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration. It's not an easy thing to serve and retire or either discharge voluntarily.
To other stories now. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nzonwike, says it is within President Bola Tinubu's right to sack him if he so wishes, responding to calls for his removal over the political crisis in Rivers State. Wike made the remarks during a thank-you visit to his local government area, Obiakpo, stressing that since 1999, the people have consistently supported him. He adds that politics is about interest, not sentiment, and highlights the voting power of Obiakpo in determining who becomes governor or senator in Rivers State. Leaders in the local government area, including House Minority Leader Kingsley Chinda, Council Chairman Dr. Gift Wallo, and Assembly Speaker Martin Amihule reaffirmed Wike's influence and promised continued support for Tinubu's re-election in 2027. They commended Wike for his contributions to the community and assured him that the people will continue to back him and the president in future elections. In a related story, the immediate past chairman of Obiakpo local government area, Chijioke Ihunwo, criticized the Speaker of the River State House of Assembly and son of Evo Kingdom, Martin Amihule, for leading what he describes as a third impeachment attempt against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Ihunwo says the action does not enjoy the collective support of most of the Evo people.
The man who is causing this trouble from Evo Kingdom, this has been his usual activity. He was used to impeach Professor Ifechukwu, who was then the deputy chairman of the political office. This is what he knows how to do best. This one will not work because the man is trying to reverse people are solidly behind him. Politics is interest. Our own interest, even we have supporting Kumara for 2020. Let us continue to bring and support the government of Rivers State.
Meanwhile, the people of Evo Kingdom, made up of 8 wards in Obiakpo local government area, have declared their support for the re-election of President Bola Tinubu and River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara in the 2027 general elections. And now the African Democratic Congress says River State continues to experience political instability because the APC and its elected officials prefer political tension to good governance. This is according to the state spokesperson of the ADC, Luckyman Igila. Speaking to correspondent Soebu Oruware, he argues that the APC is more interested in destabilizing the state government than addressing the welfare and development needs of Rivers people.
This development is yet another sad reminder that Rivers State has been plunged into unavoidable political instability as a result of power struggle, poor leadership, and gross incompetence of the ruling All Progressive Congress. The APC-controlled political structures has chosen to prioritize impeachment plots and political vendetta over governance and development of Rivers State.
Aguilar cautioned lawmakers against actions that could suggest they are being influenced by external interests to weaponize their legislative powers against the governor. He adds that the ADC will continue to work with well-meaning Rivers people to protect democracy and ensure governance is not disrupted by political maneuvering. Away from the politics, the Eche Local Government Council has removed lawyer Ifechukwu from all committees he served on, reiterating its zero-tolerance stance on land grabbing and related crimes. The council's head in November 2025 the land grabbing dispute and alleged that Chukwu helped secure the release of a former community chief, Elijah Okere, without council approval. The council also rejected Chukwu's claim that he advised on finances or raised issues of procurement irregularities, rights donation diversions, or improper vehicle purchases, clarifying that 2.5 billion naira borrowed was properly used for projects including rural electrification, council secretariat renovations, corpus lodge construction, and other development works. It adds that Chairman Chima Boniface Njoku remains fully empowered to govern in the interest of Eche's development. Away from that, commercial drivers in Oyibo local government area of Rivers State have raised concerns over the poor state of roads, saying it is causing serious damage to their vehicle. The chairman of the Rivers State chapter of the Commercial Drivers Welfare Association, Chris Ezali, made this known when he led members of the union to a protest. Ezali lamented that the Umundino Junction, popularly known as Mbano Junction, along the old Aba Road, has damaged many commercial vehicles. He warned that if the state government fails to repair the road before the rainy season, commercial drivers will stop paying taxis.
We are paying our tax as a transporters in Rivers State. It is our right to demand for good roads. We are calling the state government to come to our rescue. We know what we encountered here in the last rainy season. Don't want to encounter it any longer. If there is no urgent attention on this road, we might withdraw complying in our tax, which we are paying to the Rivers State Board of Internal Revenue. This is our simple demand. We don't know if Oyibo is no longer part of Rivers State. Oyibo has been neglected.
Other commercial drivers also spoke about the effect of the road on their vehicles and livelihoods.
We have been passing through problems in this Mbano junction. It has become a headache to almost all our drivers. Most of our vehicles have been damaged because of the bad road. Sometimes when you wake up in the morning to go to your business, when you remember the road, you will just leave the home with anger, and it's really something else. Some of us are not even able to settle our debt in terms of higher purchase basis, even to take money home to our families. We cannot make it away.
Some passengers, when we carry, I want to apply to this place, they will say no, they don't want to pass here unless we pass through the other way, which has been a headache on us. So we plead to the Rivers State government to come and rescue us from this road so that we can be able to do our business.
The President General of the Movement for the Development of Oyibo Ndokiasa Ethnic Nationality, Dr. Victor Obute, lamented that the Rivers State government has neglected Oyibo local government area. He warned of a protest if the local and state governments fail to fix the road and other bad roads in the local government area by the end of March 2026. Still to come, resident doctors suspend planned strike. We'll tell you why after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back. The Nigeria Association of Resident Doctors has suspended the planned resumption of its total, indefinite and complete strike earlier scheduled to begin following review progress made on its demands through engagement with government stakeholders. NARD says the suspension is strategic and conditional based on firm commitments secured from key ministries and agencies after the intervention of Vice President Kashim Shettima. The association adds that it will reassess the situation at its National Executive Council meeting starting on January 25th. And now the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission says its operations are not targeted at opposition figures, insisting that investigations are carried out without regard to political affiliation. EFCC Chairman Ola Olukoyede stated this in an interview with Channels Television while reacting to claims that the probe of a former Attorney General of the Federation, Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, is politically motivated. Olukoyede says the investigation predates his tenure, noting that Malami has been under investigation for about 2.5 years and that the case is handled professionally and thoroughly. He adds that the Commission only proceeds to court when it is satisfied that it has a strong and watertight case. The EFCC has since arraigned Malami, his wife and son on a 16-count money laundering charge with a federal high court in Abuja, granting them bail in the sum of 500 million naira. Away from that, the Nigerian Army has dismissed as misleading a report claiming that Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu raised alarm over rising pipeline vandalism during his visit to 6th Division in Port Harcourt. Acting Army Public Relations Director Colonel Apollonia Anili says the report misrepresented facts and should be disregarded. She clarifies that the COAS focused on the importance of protecting critical national infrastructure and urged troops to remain disciplined, committed, and dedicated to their duties. Shaibu also approved measures to address accommodation challenges, improve education for soldiers' children, and enhance operational readiness. The Army appeals to media organizations and the public to verify fact before publication and encourages residents of the Niger Delta to continue providing credible intelligence on criminal activities. And now today, Monday and tomorrow, Tuesday, if you live in River State, expect sunny skies with patches of clouds. This weather will be the same over the southern coastal area like Bayelsa, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Delta, and Lagos State. This is according to the Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET. Moderate dust haze is expected over inland cities of the southern region, while the central region is forecast to experience thick dust haze and the northern region moderate dust haze during the period. On Wednesday, thick dust haze is predicted over the northern region, moderate haze over the central region, and dust haze over inland southern cities, with coastal cities seeing sunny skies with patches of clouds. NIMET warns that the dust particles are in suspension, urging people with asthma or other respiratory issues to take precautions and advising drivers and airline operators to act with caution. And now we go straight to business. The federal government says it has no plans to toll the rehabilitated third mainland bridge in Lagos. Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, makes this clear while inaugurating the 40 billion naira closed-circuit television camera center on the bridge on Sunday. He explains that tolling would create static load and traffic bottlenecks, adding that security will be managed by the police with a 5-minute response time.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump says Iranian leaders have contacted the United States to negotiate amid ongoing unrest in the country. However, Trump warned that the U.S. may have to take military action before any talks takes place. Since late December, hundreds of protesters have reportedly been killed by Iranian security forces, with the BBC counting at least 180 bodies at a morgue in Tehran. The US-based human rights activist news agency has verified the deaths of nearly 500 protesters during the demonstrations. Iranian authorities have imposed an internet shutdown since Thursday, making it difficult to independently verify events on the ground.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's the news, but just before we go, here are the major headlines we brought you. We told you that Governor Fubara says the reason for his silence amidst impeachment saga is his faith in God. We also heard that Rivers State government acknowledged the sacrifice of fallen heroes as the state joined the Armed Forces Remembrance Day. We also reported that resident doctors have suspended their planned strike. The news was edited by Ufoma Iwamono. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I am Ifechukwu Muonyili. Many thanks for listening.